William Lee's facing the financial reality and taking the necessary steps to put NIO on a path to financial sustainability. I don't care how much cash you have in the bank, if you are not making cash and if you're losing cash, that's not sustainable. So before all you guys get in the comments and say, NIO's not going bankrupt, do you see how much cash they have? No one is saying that they're going bankrupt tomorrow. What we're saying is they're losing a lot of cash and they are burning cash. That isn't sustainable business. That's not how business is done. Business isn't done by, hey, I have a lot of cash in the bank so I can just keep burning cash. So think about that before you leave your comment. That honestly just made me a little upset. Sorry. But yeah, NIO's losing a lot of cash. Facing financial realities, I know it's less glamorous than opening NIO houses or launching new product lines outside of your core business, but it's potentially more, actually, I'm not even going to say potentially, it's more important for shareholder returns. If you want to be a part of the conversation before it happens here on YouTube, click that link in the description to join the free Courtside Financial Discord. What's going on, everyone? My name's Obi and welcome back to the Courtside Financial Podcast, the podcast where we talk about the business and technology moves that might actually affect your portfolio. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the EV maker NIO, which I'm bullish on, which I'm invested in, getting serious about turning around the financial ship. Breaking news just dropped that NIO has implemented layoffs across multiple teams, particularly targeting their sales and services department. According to reports from LeFone, we're looking at cuts up at about 10% company-wide, with some regions seeing variations in that percentage. Now, if you've been following me on this channel, you know that I'm a NIO bull, you know that I'm objective, but as much as I'm gonna yell and talk about their success, sing their praises for the good things that they do, I also like to highlight their challenges. This news deserves some attention because it's another thing that shows that William Lee is really serious about etching towards that goal of profitability. Remember last episode when we talked about NIO scaling back the phone business, the smartphone that nobody asked for? This is the next logical step in that strategy. NIO isn't just trimming experimental product lines. They're right-sizing the entire organization to match their actual sales performance. The reality is stark. NIO built a sales force sized for selling 30,000 to 40,000 units per month, but their numbers haven't come even close to that target. So this is classic business 101. If your revenue doesn't support your headcount, something's got to give. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, the Onvo L60. This was supposed to be NIO's volume play, the model that would push them into mainstream territory. In preparation, they doubled their sales teams in some regions like Shenzhen, going from 200 to 400 people. But the numbers tell the story clearly. President Allen I made big promises: 15,000 units in January and February, 20,000 units in March, and hitting 30,000 monthly by Q4. Those targets have fallen dramatically short. What's even more telling, reports are stating that President Allen I has been reportedly missing from internal meetings since January's disappointing figure. Instead, the vice president has been chairing those meetings. Some speculate that I is already preparing for his exit, perhaps making good on his promise to resign if those targets weren't met. This is the cold reality of the automotive business. When you overpromise and underdeliver, there are consequences. These layoffs aren't just about cutting costs, they're about reimagining how NIO operates. The company is making structural changes that signal a fundamental shift in strategy. They're eliminating store manager positions at NIO houses, merging those with sales roles. They're replacing full-time operations and service staff with part-time contractors from third parties, cutting NIO house staffing down from 8 to 9 people to 3 to 4 people. Perhaps most significantly, they're opening previously exclusive NIO houses to the general public in Shenzhen. That members-only approach might have worked when building a luxury brand image, but in today's market, and for the market they're trying to appeal to, the mass market, they need foot traffic to make the numbers of it, the economy of it, make sense. These moves aren't just reactive. Again, they're part of NIO's sell business unit strategy, a strategy focused that has a laser focus, I should say, on cost control. Lee himself is reportedly getting very hands-on with this, showing that this initiative is coming from the top down. Now, it's not even doom and gloom in NIO land. It's not all doom and gloom in NIO land. There's some genuinely positive news about their battery swap business, which, by the way, is a core differentiator that I've long believed in, and I still believe in. Multiple employees have confirmed that NIO's battery swapping stations are gradually achieving profitability. That's huge news. Construction costs that previously required 5 to 6 million RMB, that's about 690,000 to 830,000 US dollars, have shrunk to 1 to 2 million RMB. Even better, the chargers they have can service brands of other vehicles, further expanding their revenue. William Lee stated himself in February that battery swapping is approaching profitability, with trends improving, and we're really seeing this a lot in Shanghai. This is exactly the kind of financial discipline that builds a sustainable business, cutting costs while improving margins on core services. So for NIO, again, these organizational changes send a mixed but ultimately positive signal, in my opinion. Yes, layoffs indicate that growth hasn't met expectations, but they also show that management understands the need for fiscal discipline and taking concrete action. What's particularly encouraging is NIO is making these adjustments while they still have a nice amount of cash reserves. Unlike some competitors who wait till they're in crisis mode to streamline operations, NIO's taking more of a proactive approach, which has to be seen as a good thing. They're in a position of strength, and this is exactly what we've been waiting to see. A NIO that prioritizes sustainability over growth at all costs. The growth at all cost era in the EV industry is over, and profitability matters, especially when we're in this high interest rate environment. What's particularly fascinating about these developments is that they reveal the changing power dynamics within NIO. William Lee seems to be taking more of a hands-on approach, especially when it comes to supply chain. Meanwhile, the apparent sidelining of Onvo's president Alan I, in regards after the the failure of the L60 shows that NIO is taking on an accountability matters approach. I can't speak today. This is exactly what institutional investors want to see: executives being held accountable for results, not promises. The restructuring of NIO houses also represents a philosophical shift. The company built its brand on being exclusive and premium experiences, but now the market is forcing them to take an approach that is more inclusive and cost effective. That's a sign of maturity. Recognizing when your luxury positioning needs to be balanced with commercial reality. The moves by NIO reflect a broader maturation of the EV industry. The days of endless cash burn are over. Companies that survive will be those who actually deliver compelling products while maintaining financial discipline. What we're seeing at NIO might be painful in the short term, but their activities seem to be crucial for the long game. They're choosing sustainable operations over flashy expansion, and that's exactly what they need to do in this competitive landscape. Remember, Tesla went through similar growing pains on their path to profitability. The quote-unquote production hell of 2018 led to significant restructuring and layoffs before Tesla reached this nirvana, so to speak, or the promised land. NIO appears to be following a similar playbook, just with Chinese characteristics. So I think that we're watching a pivotal moment in NIO's evolution. The company that built its brand off of innovation and premium experiences is now showing that they can and will make the hard choices. William Lee's facing the financial reality and taking the necessary steps to put NIO on a path to financial sustainability. I don't care how much cash you have in the bank. If you are not making cash, and if you're losing cash, that's not sustainable. So before all you guys get in the comments and say, NIO's not going bankrupt, do you see how much cash they have? No one is saying that they're going bankrupt tomorrow. What we're saying is they're losing a lot of cash, and they are burning cash. That isn't sustainable business. That's not how business is done. Business isn't done by, hey, I have a lot of cash in the bank, so I can just keep burning cash. So think about that before you leave your comment. That honestly just like made me a little upset. Sorry. But yeah, NIO's losing a lot of cash. Facing financial realities, I know it's less glamorous than opening NIO houses or launching new product lines outside of your core business, but it's potentially more, actually, I'm not even going to say potentially, it's more important for shareholder returns. The path to profitability is rarely smooth, and what we're seeing right now is NIO's just experiencing some turbulence. Sometimes you just need to trim the fat before you can build muscle. These layoffs combined with the phone business pullback that we discussed yesterday show that NIO is serious about achieving some healthy and strong financial fitness. Anyways, that's it for today's episode of the Courtside Financial Podcast. Hope you found it valuable, useful, insightful, at the very least entertaining if it was any of those things. Make sure you leave a comment down below, click the notification bell icon, hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel. Share the video as well. All your engagement really does go a long way in opening up the channel. We'll see you in the next episode of the Courtside Financial Podcast. OB signing off. Thanks for watching. Peace out.